Bangkok is one of the best cities in the world, and in today's video, I'm going to show you guys exactly why. But first and foremost, I'm very excited to say that today's video is sponsored by myself and my Google Maps Bangkok travel guide. This is something that I have been developing over the past month and a half and all the other trips that I have done here to Bangkok to make your planning of your trip here that much easier. I'll share with you guys how it all works in the middle of the video, but let's get into our top 12 list of things that you need to see and do in Bangkok, starting with number 1, getting high. Obviously, I don't mean the mind-altering kind of high, but instead seeing Bangkok from a bird's eye view. Out of all the cities that I have been to in the world, Bangkok has the best sky bars that I have ever come across, and in the city there's over 50. So in my Bangkok travel guide, I'll be sharing my top favorite places, but there are just so many incredible ones to choose from. But if you want to see Bangkok from the highest building in the whole city, you have to go up the Mahanakhon. This giant was officially completed in 2016 and is 314 meters tall. The observation deck on the 78th floor offers an incredible view of Bangkok. Just make sure you try and go there on a fairly clear day, which unfortunately I didn't. Caveat though is that it does cost $30 to go up here, and that's just the entrance ticket. If you go to a sky bar, you just have to buy a drink. Number 2 is going to the Grand Palace. We would be here all day if I listed all the different temples you should visit in Bangkok, because there are so many and they are so beautiful. I would recommend you see as many as possible, but if you only had time for one, make it the Grand Palace. I was very fortunate that I got to visit during COVID and there was next to no one here, but nowadays it is much busier. I would recommend coming either right in the morning or just before they close. Number 3 is my favorite park in all of Bangkok, which is Benjikiti. A lot of travel guides recommend Lumpini Park, which is nice, but personally I prefer Benjikiti because it is huge. It is an enormous park that really makes you feel like you are outside of the city for a minute. There's these really cool elevated platforms that you can walk on, and there's a huge lake that you can run around. Number 4 is a super cool place to go out at night and get some great street food, which is Ban That Thong Road. My friends who live here ended up taking me out, and I was just so impressed with the wide selection of restaurants here. Some of them are even on the Michelin Guide. There really is something for everyone, and it was cool to see so many young people in this area and all more or less locals. So if you wanted to go to a place that isn't completely overrun with tourists, maybe I shouldn't be saying this because now it's out, but this would be the place. Now, number 5 is to visit a speakeasy bar. For those of you who don't know what a speakeasy is, don't worry, I just learned what it was a few years ago as well, but it's basically a hidden bar that from the outside you wouldn't know what it is. The bar that my friends took me to is called Find the Photo Booth, and I won't ruin it for you guys how to get in because it's actually pretty fun to figure it out, but I will say that the cocktails here are incredible. They have live music on the weekends, and I would definitely recommend checking it out. And number 6 on our list is Chinatown. Bangkok has one of the biggest Chinatowns in the world because that is the largest minority group in the city. You can find everything here as far as shopping goes. There's some beautiful temples you can check out, and in the evening times, the main road Yararat morphs into a huge street food festival. And now, a word from today's sponsor. Now, I'm sure you've all been dying to hear about my travel guide and just how it works. This is something that I have been developing for quite some time because I get questions all the time of suggestions and things to see and do in the places I visit. And unfortunately, I can't answer all the messages I get, but I thought that this would be a great way to give you guys all of my top places in the palm of your hand, and also for a very reasonable price. So this is a Google Maps based travel guide. You do have to have the app to make it work, but it is more or less a screen that you put over your own map that you can use on its own, or put the places that you're really interested in as a permanent fixture on your own map. I have over 100 different pins of suggestions, and they are all categorized into different areas like top attractions, best restaurants, my favorite places to grab a drink, best cafes, and then I have some more unorthodox sort of suggestions like my favorite dentist, my hairstylist. Medical tourism in general in Bangkok has some really great options, so I have some very well rated hospitals linked as well. But all in all, this is just a great way to save you time on trip planning, so that as soon as you get here you have a whole bunch of suggestions already marked up of where to eat, where to go, some lesser known gems, and as long as you trust my suggestions, I think you'll have a great time. So this travel guide is retailing for 20 Canadian dollars, which is 15 US. I have it sold on my website, which I will leave a link to in the description. And with it, you get an introductory PDF all about Bangkok, some of my top tips and suggestions, and it is on the last page of the PDF where you get the actual link to download the Google Maps travel guide. As always, I want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you who has supported my channel. I hope this will be a product that you guys genuinely enjoy and that I hope to make for many other destinations. I actually already have one for Toronto, so if you guys are planning on visiting there, that one is already out as well. But yeah, for anybody who does purchase it, I would love to know your feedback as I make more in the future. And thank you guys so much. Let's get back into the video. Number 7 on our list, you may want to take with a grain of salt. It is not for everybody, and it does come with a certain element of danger, and that is to take a Grab scooter taxi. Notice I didn't say you should be driving yourself. I would highly recommend you have a local professional, someone who does this day in and day out, drive you around. Of course, there is still a certain amount of risk involved with this option, but it is significantly less than driving yourself, and in my opinion, this is just such a great way to experience the very local way of getting around the city. If you come from a very car-centric country like I do, which is Canada, it is just a whole other experience to have the wind whipping through your hair, them navigating through all the crazy traffic, which, by the way, I would not recommend taking taxis unless you absolutely have to in Bangkok. You will be sitting in gridlock. It's much better to take public transit or grab scooter taxis if you're feeling brave. Of course, please wear a helmet. I think that goes without saying, but it really is its own experience, even if you just do it once. If a scooter is a little bit too crazy for you, I got the next best thing, which is number 8, a boat ride on the Chao Phraya River. If you zoom out on a map of Bangkok, you will notice that there is a river snaking through many different parts of the city. Not only is this a great way to see the skyline from the water, but it is also a great and budget-friendly way to get to a lot of top attractions like the Grand Palace and Water Rune. There are a lot of different boats to choose from. You can take a big fancy touristy one that will cost a little bit more. You can do a dinner cruise, but there is also the local express boat, which is only 16 baht per direction. Number 9 is one of my favorite areas of the city, and for some reason not a lot of tourists know about it, which is the flower market. This is a huge wholesale market that supplies flowers to hotels, restaurants, individuals all around the city, and you can buy just small amounts as well for very reasonable prices. They also have a little food market here as well. There's great little cafes in the area, and you are also within walking distance to Chinatown, so worthwhile doing those two together in one day. And number 10 on my list is mainly for the ladies, but maybe the gentlemen as well, which is to go shopping. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Bangkok has some of the best malls in the world. Like, it is on another level here. There's actually very few places that I've been that really even compare. Of course, you have the whole Sukhumvit strip that has malls like Siam Paragon, it has MBK, it's got M Korche. In my opinion, the best mall of them all is Icon Siam, and it's understandable why, because it cost 1.5 billion with a B dollars to construct. So whatever you're looking for, you can absolutely find somewhere in Bangkok. On my travel guide, I marked some lesser known malls and specialty sort of places to go, as well as local markets, so you have a lot of different places to choose from. Number 11 is actually a day trip outside of the city that I would absolutely recommend for everyone, which is to go to Ayutthaya. For those of you who don't know, Thailand used to be called Siam, and its capital city was Ayutthaya. It is about an hour's drive from Bangkok. The easiest way to visit is by taking a tour, so I will link the one that I went on in the description for anybody who wants a recommendation. But this is a very special place to visit, so I would recommend leaving at least one day to see it for yourself. And last but certainly not least is my number 12 recommendation, which is absolutely one of the best things that I have ever done in Bangkok, which is to go to a ladyboy cabaret. There's a lot of different cabarets to choose from in the city, Calypso probably being the most famous, but I decided to go with one called Miran Cabaret and was so incredibly impressed. They had the highest Google reviews, and I was able to find a deal through Klook. We'll also link that in the description for anybody interested. But the performers here were absolutely incredible. It was an hour-long show. They covered so many different fun songs. You're also able to get dinner if you want during the show. I went with Matt and Yulia. We just had such a fantastic time. So if you are looking for a great dinner and a show, this would be my top recommendation. Of course, keep in mind it is a bit of a sexy show, so maybe not appropriate for children, but really a fun time for adults and absolutely incredible performers. And that is it, friends, my top 12 list of things that you should see and do when you come to Bangkok. As I said before, if you want all of my 100+ suggestions of fantastic places to visit in Bangkok, where to eat, best bars to get a drink, make sure you check out my Bangkok travel guide. It will be linked in the description. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for your support. It is because of you that I am able to have an incredible job like this, where I show you some amazing places in the world and test them all out myself. So thank you all so much. As always, I'm sending you so much love. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye, guys.